Hello, and thank you everyone for watching Ask Ron, where Ron answers our Gold Club members' questions each and every week. My name is Jesse, and I have Ron here ready to answer your questions.
Yes, I am ready to go.
Alrighty, we're going to start with Phil and Cindy Salazar from Washington State.
I know them. Okay.
All right, they've got three great questions. We'll start with the first one. I have a Texas LLC because I spend part of the year in Texas and buy property there. I physically live in Washington State part of the year and am actively investing in real estate here. Can I buy a Washington State property in the name of my Texas LLC, or do I have to register in Washington State as a DBA?
Where's the property would be my next question. But yeah, you can buy a property out of state in an LLC, which is in another state, which I do all the time, actually. So that would be a question you probably should ask your CPA more than your attorney. Yeah, because I don't know. Washington State's got pretty heavy taxes, and especially property taxes. Last time I recall, it was about 1.7% just for transfer tax. But I didn't. Did you get whether they want the properties in Texas or Washington State?
It kind of looks like the property is in Washington State in this case, and he's trying to avoid being double taxed if possible.
What double tax? They're only buying one property in one state. You're going to have to pay the transfer tax that goes to the state that you're buying the property in, which is, I would rather it be Texas because they got almost no closing costs down there. But that one you better ask a real estate professional where you live. I'm not up with Washington state law.
Gotcha. Thank you. His second question. When looking for deals, I look for equity spread, market value, rental median price, cash flow, and median sale price. Is there a program or a procedure to determine these values for markets across the country and cities?
Yeah, sure. Called Dreams Pro AI. It's our new system. Go to Dreams Pro AI, DreamsPro.ai. Which one is it? I don't know.
DreamsPro.ai, and I'll go ahead and link that down below.
Yeah, okay. And you can get information on any property anywhere in the country with this AI-driven package. And also it does a lot of other things that you need to explore, such as it does your comps for you. It's got a rehab calculator in there. You just stick in what it needs and it tells you what it costs. Oh man, it does your mailing for you. You pull list is the big one. You pull list, it'll skip trace the list and on and on and on. And also you get a website with it. So that's $297 a month. It's basically runs your business for you nowadays. Got the CRM built into it. And everything that we are doing in the way of automation now revolves around that CRM and that package. And it's made life a lot easier for real estate investors because you segment your list down to a very small list from a very large list by putting in one of 17 different pain points, including foreclosures and pre-foreclosures and vacant houses and all of that stuff, narrowed down to what looks like the most motivated list there. And then we even do cold calling now, guys. Cold calling. We got a whole floor of people that do cold calling. So you can pull a list off of that, skip trace it, and send it over to the cold callers and sit back and wait for your leads to come in. Go check it out.
All right, it's an incredible system.
Yeah.
All right, Phil and Cindy's third question. What do you need in place in order to invest long distance between two states? I am looking for pretty houses with equity and low interest rates in Texas and Washington states, which are two very different markets and political social values.
Like I said, Washington State's got pretty high closing costs. Now, the good news is that there's a ton of them out there now that have low equity, which is one of the pain points you can actually target. And these people literally come beg you to buy their house. They don't have a lot of equity because a lot of them are VA loans. I'm talking about 1, 2, 3-year-old houses and people living in them less than 3 years. They're all over the place now because the interest rate is high. So the payment is going to be high, but not high enough to at least break even on in most cases. But you get this nice, big, old, beautiful home and beautiful neighborhoods, and you get all the other advantages, depreciation, appreciation. You won't probably get any monthly cash flow. but you still get tax write-offs, debt paid down, and forfeited deposits and all those goodies. Most of it are easy enough to get 10, 15 grand out of, but they have low equity because of the high loan that's on them. They can't even sell them with realtors. A lot of them have been listed and they didn't sell because there's really enough room in there to even pay a realtor. So I'd change your high equity. I'm actually doing both. Mail to high equity and then mail to low equity. Watch what happens when you mail to low equity. Or you don't even have to mail. You can mail. It does all the mailing for you. It's got all the pieces and everything. But you can just grab the list and send it over to cold callers as well.
That's right. All right. Our next question for this week is from Marcus Allen in Florida.
Hey, Marcus.
That's Ron. Last year, I walked away from a deal because the sellers suddenly changed their terms. Can you share a story from your own experience where you stopped pursuing a property at last minute?
You got to be kidding, Marcus. I've been at this for 43 years, man. I got more stories to fill an encyclopedia. But no, I can't think of one right now. I don't. If you have a contract on it, you know you can enforce that contract. If you don't have a contract on it, you're out of luck. It's that simple. But if you want to enforce the contract, that has different meanings for different folks. Wouldn't hurt to have your attorney write them a letter telling them that we have a legal binding contract and you intend to enforce it. And that might change their mind right there. But if you don't have a contract, you just move on, man. Forget about it. You're going to have all kinds of disappointments from sellers doing stuff after the fact. But again, there's legal and there's not legal. And if you have a contract, they are breaching the contract. That's simple. So it's up to you whether you want to go pursue it or not. And the worst case, let's say they got another contract from somebody else, and you find that out. You can always come to terms on what kind of a settlement that they want to make because they're literally costing you profit. And again, yeah, odds are in your favor. So up to you, man. Up to you. How do you want to run your business? I've done both, actually. I've just let it go, and I wrote them a letter, and I have an attorney write them a letter, but only about a few times in 43 years of doing this, so it's not something I'd be worrying about. You got that over with, so now go out and buy some houses, and you're done with that one. Forget it. Quit crying over spilled milk. Go milk another cow.
Great advice. Last question for this week is from Maria Lopez in Chicago.
Hey, Maria.
She says, I have friends who keep finding deals with great cash flow in small cities, but I'm not sure how to judge if the numbers really add up. Is there a checklist or specific steps you'd use to double check the market rents, property values, and what's actually realistic?
Again, all that stuff is on dreams. But yeah, the ARV, you got to know the ARV. You wouldn't even think about making an offer till you know what the ARV is. You got to know the condition. That means you need to see the inside of the house as well as the outside. And pictures are nice, but I wouldn't trust the ones on Zillow. So if you're that interested in it, somebody probably needs to go out and look at the house for you and take pictures of the inside and the outside. You can get people locally to do that. You can even get a realtor to do that. Tell them you're thinking about putting it on the market. Well, what'd you list it for? And what kind of condition is it in? Just tell them you're outside. In fact, if you're going to buy more than one property in that particular city, it'd be nice to have that person at your side whenever you need them. Also, when you come to our events, I mean, I encourage students to swap cards with people. So if you don't have cards, go get some, or you won't have to sit there and write out your name and address and all that. And pretty soon, you got people all over the country in your own network. Just by meeting them in person, it won't work when you're on the virtual thing, but go meet them and greet them. And, if you like them, I'd like to have their card and vice versa. And you start that by, listen, I'm in Kansas City or wherever you're at. I'd like to have your information in case I need you there, and I'll give you mine and so forth. And go home, put them in your list pretty soon. I mean, I've had groups form all over the place, from Canada all the way down, just because they made the decision that they want to communicate with other people while they're at the event, and not just sit there and not participate. Participation is always better. Plus, it makes the time go by faster as well. And you have some good conversations with some good people, and same people you're going to go to dinner with at night. So make it a point to associate with more of them instead of trying to avoid them. And pretty soon you have your own network. But in your case, you could even go on Craigslist under gigs and tell somebody you need to go out and look at a house and take some photos of it. But you do need to see photos of the house, the real house, and the ARV, and does it need repairs, and your guess of how much repairs, and then what's the loan balance, and what's the cash flow? Rent-o-meter will give you an idea of what the market rent is there, but you can always get more than what it says you can get, I can tell you that. And just do your due diligence. So same thing you do in any house, even where you live, much less outside of where you live. And then you have somebody there that has to put a lockbox on it when you're going to put a tenant in it. And you got to get somebody there to keep the lawn mowed, depending on what time of the year it is. And of course, the snow shovel. Well, none of the tenants can shovel the snow. In fact, the tenants can take care of their own repairs too when you're lease purchasing it, which is one good thing about it. They do their own repairs, and they do their own lawn mowing, and they do their own snow shoveling and all that. So get boots on the ground there, and you won't feel so bad about buying them there. It's really no different than Airbnbs. Think about that. You don't personally go over and clean up the Airbnb when somebody gets out. There's other people who do that for you. Same here. There's always other people that'll do it for you for peanuts, practically nothing. That it?
That is all the questions we have for this week, Ron.
That's all you guys got? That? Okay. Guys, well, if you're watching this, get some questions in here, okay? There's no such thing as stupid questions. So get them in here so I can answer them. I mean, this is a service for you, so it relies on you to actually send them questions to us. So I'll see you next week. And if you haven't been to Quick Start School yet, I start one on Tuesday here in Jacksonville. And frankly, I got the best deal we've ever did on this boot camp. Best deal I've ever done in all of my years. So call our office and they'll tell you all about it. And if you can't get here, I got one here next month as well. But you're going to get a great deal on this one coming up next week if you can, make the plans to get here. So up to you. Got to get to that boot camp because that's your basic training for this entire business. All right, we'll see you next week. Same time, same channel.
Thanks, Ron.
Okay, bye.